This girl got slapped by her mother because she was watching a guy walk on the other side of the road and intended to go to him. The scene then shifts to show a flashback from the same day's morning. Emily has a strict mother who prohibits her from hanging out with friends or indulging in any kind of fun activity. She drops her to the school while instructing her to study hard and be ready to be picked up the moment her last class comes to an end. In class, she's mocked by a senior student for still being picked and dropped by her mother like a baby. She ignores the comments and leaves. Her mother keeps texting her to hurry up and come out to go home. Frustrated and driven to anxiety, Emily decides to ghost her mother and go to a college party. Despite her bold decision, she looks extremely nervous during the meal as it's her first time at such a place. Emily now looks scared to imagine the results of her little act of bravery as her mother keeps bombing her with the texts. Meanwhile, she's approached by the same senior who starts mocking her once again, and the matter reaches to the point of harassment where he holds her hand. As she's been denied social life most of her life, Emily reacts strongly, knocking a bottle to the floor in the process and drawing unnecessary attention. Unable to handle the gazes, she runs out of that place, causing Archie to clean up after her. Once out of the restaurant, she decides to go home, looking at the number of calls and texts her mother has been dropping her. It's at this moment that she spots Brian on the other side of the road, but fails to reach out to him as her mother arrives there and gives her a tight slap. The older lady goes on to scold her harshly in the middle of the road, causing a lot of commotion and bringing humiliation to her daughter. Brian also happens to watch the scene unfold and remembers her to be her classmate in middle school as well. He once watched her crying hysterically in the empty classroom for scoring low grades in a test. He feels bad for the poor girl being dragged away by her mother. Next day, she talks back to her mother for the first time and asks her to leave her alone as she's already a 20 years old grown-up. This leaves the older lady a bit shocked as she's used to her daughter's quiet obedience despite all the harshness she shows to her.